Hey, you guys, I wanted to come on here and read to you this article that was posted by The Root about the blatant and abhorrent derision that is the manifestation of George Zimmerman. Now, before I really go in on George, I want to rant for just a moment. Why is George Zimmerman still alive? All of this upset and rage when we heard the acquittal in 2013, and then it just seems like it fell on dead ears. I actually had remembered during that time hearing the news of this man boasting proudly about how he took out Trayvon, even selling the gun he used to take Trayvon's life with. Where's all the outrage? All of that energy you guys had for Gayle, sending her death threats, calling her names, just unleashing a firestorm of insults and derogatory comments towards him? No. But it seems like that we have this energy for when it comes to our own. But why is it that I never see the same energy when it comes to those who actually have caused harm to our people? I mean, it's just a load of BS. And I can't even take you guys seriously at times because I think to myself, we have all of these emotion based reactions towards things that are irrelevant and don't matter. But when it comes time for us to stand and take action against an oppressive system or a non black person, you guys are quiet. Why didn't Snoop Dogg send someone after Zimmerman? Why is no one trying to see if there's any form of penalty or consequence or anything that can be held for Zimmerman's contempt and degenerate behavior? But you know what? That's right. I mean, I guess we only reserve that punishment for our own people. But, anyways, let's just go ahead and get into this article. So, it says here Satan, which I kind of find to be funny because it's a really appropriate name, only had two children, one of whom has ascended to the highest office in the land, and the other who is in Florida living a dismal life after killing a 17-year-old and continuing to remind everyone that he's a soulless killer by ripping away at the child's death. George Zimmerman, who will, for clarity's sake, be referred to as horse dung, has filed a lawsuit against Democratic presidential nominees Elizabeth Warren and Pete Buttigieg for tweeting their condolences and remorse on the birthday of Trayvon Martin. Now, I want to stop here. It is beyond ridiculous, again, that this man is still breathing. Probably eating at five-star restaurants, hang gliding, enjoying some of life's best joys, while Trayvon didn't even have a chance to do any of that because this degenerate excuse for a human being decided that he was going to act as the unofficial law enforcement in fear for his life. Now, keep in mind, he wanted to be a police officer, but he was actually denied on several occasions. But you were the one who was stupid enough to not listen to the advice of the 911 dispatcher, and you decided to go after Trayvon anyway. Like, seriously, who does that? If you're so afraid, why continue to walk towards the danger that presents a threat? What were you so afraid of, you idiotic beast? But anyway, it says here, um, the article kind of has, I guess, like a little bit of a parody. It says here, hold on, I'm getting a phone call. And then it says, me, hello, voice, hey, this is Satan. And then it says, me, hey, Satan. Satan says, yeah, I don't F with George Zimmerman. He's not my son. I don't even know that Bama. In fact, I don't know why he's still. And then it goes back to me and it says, hello. And then it says, other than working as a mime at Ku Klux Klan rallies or laying flat on the highway to function as a speed bump, horse dung shouldn't be a thing, but he is, and he is a thing for killing a teen. Walking free and then gloating about killing a child, he just won't stop. He won't disappear. And I blame everyone, those who have emboldened him, those in the court system that keep talking, that keep taking these hurtful and duplicitous lawsuits, those who see him about to bite into a sandwich and don't knock the S out of his hand. Where's PETA? I blame them too. Why hasn't PETA shamed him? Why haven't they thrown red paint all over his wraparound sunglasses that all fake cops wear? And also, it says here, not only did he kill Trayvon Martin, but he won't stop harassing and antagonizing the boy's parents. In December 2019, Horse Dung filed a $100 million lawsuit against attorney Ben Crump and the family of Trayvon Martin. According to a press release provided to The Root, the lawsuit alleges that Rachel Jeantel, the prosecution's key witness during the 2013 trial, was both an imposter and fake witness. The suit also accuses Crump of defamation for remarks made in his recently published book. So And then lastly here it says, and then I'll give some more commentary. It says, but get this, the tweets from Warren and Bootke didn't even mention Horston. So you see, basically, you guys, everything I just said, I don't get it. Where is the outrage? Where's the boycotts? Where are the marches? And this just goes to show how complicit society is when it comes to the genocide of our people. They didn't care during slavery. What makes you think they care now? And just the way that society sees it now is that it's been happening for so long, they probably see, well, you know what? These Negroes should just be desensitized to it by now. It's sad how many cases that have happened and nothing changes. Think about Mike Brown, Philando Castile, Eric Garner, Sandra Bland, Tamir Rice. And that's the thing, those are just the cases that were brought to the surface thanks to social media. I mean, let's even imagine for how long this has been going on before we even actually had social media to report it. And I'm really perplexed at the behavior of some of our people where we'll be so outraged at some things, but not other things. And it's just such a hypocritical perspective when where we can really grill someone for asking an insensitive question, but we can't have that same energy for still trying to enact harsh penalties towards a man who actually took a young boy's life away from him. It's so ridiculous and almost facetious. And I say facetious because of the way we react to certain situations. We seem like we have such emotional outbursts towards situations not directly affecting us, but when it comes to mistreatment and racial oppression towards us, we're silent. Somebody please explain. I mean, I just want to know why that is. What is going through your mind that you can't have outrage when it applies? So let me continue reading here. It says here from Yahoo News, the lawsuit cited separate tweets both candidates posted on February 5th, the victim's birthday, in which they call out issues of gun violence and prejudice in the U.S. So it says here, Trayvon Martin would have been 25 today. Mr. Bootgeek, former mayor of South Bend, Indiana, wrote in this tweet. How many 25th birthdays have been stolen from us by white supremacy, gun violence, prejudice, and fear? Hashtag Black Lives Matter. And you know what? I'm just going to kind of digress for a moment. I actually had done a video on Pete Buttigieg, and I think that he's only saying all of this because he's trying to pander. I spoke to you guys and I mentioned about how black people from South Bend, Indiana didn't have anything nice to say about Buttigieg. I also mentioned that he had a black woman, ask him some kind of a question. I can't recall verbatim what it was, but basically he responded to her in this arrogant and entitled way, basically saying that he didn't need her vote. So I think that now he's just trying to do damage control and basically just trying to save face to try to get black votes. Because to my understanding, I think that he's really low when it comes to black voters. But anyway, back to the main point. It says here, Miss Warren, Democrat of Massachusetts, said her heart goes out to the shooting victim's family and friends, writing, he should still be with us today. And it says the senator added, we need to end gun violence and racism, and we need to build a world where all of our children, especially young black boys, can grow up safe and free. Now, another thing too, and it's kind of similar to Boot Geek, I think that these Democrats just like to pander. I think that they see how easy it is to manipulate the minds of black people. All you have to do is just say something that they view as symbolic, and it's like, boom, you have their vote. All you have to do is just even slightly mention the word reparations, and they're just looking at you like, okay, well, we have to make sure to vote for this candidate because they said reparations, not even knowing if they were for it or not. Just the fact that they see us as so gullible, they figure, well, it's easy. Just do something that they like, and we have their vote. So it's sad that it's that way, but I mean, it is what it is. So as you guys can see, it's more of the same reprobate and profligate antics and basically making a mockery of poor Trayvon Martin's name. This is what's so infuriating, is that he is so low that he doesn't even have the least bit of remorse or contrition for his actions. And it's such a sick, demented, and disgusting behavior that I still have trouble wrapping my mind around. The fact that he's still alive, just the absolute worst and lowest. I mean, he's not, at this point, he's not even worth throwing into a poison-filled sewer at this point. He's actually beyond that. So I'm going to continue reading a little bit more of the article. It says here, Somehow, inside the S stain that is Horse Dung's brain, he believes that commemorating the life of a child he killed defames him. Dung's lawsuit claims that Buttigieg and Warren were committing defamation with actual malice or, at a minimum, a reckless disregard for the truth, Yahoo reports. Dung also adds that the Democratic presidential candidates falsely tied Trayvon's death to gun violence and are part of a political agenda to garner votes in the black community. It is high time that the cheap and harmful use of the race card by politicians of us of all stripes be made to cease and desist, Zimmerman's attorney and founder of conservative legal rights group Judicial Watch, Larry Klayman, said in a statement according to Newsweek. Their despicable race tactics are not only causing great harm to persons such as my client George Zimmerman, but also are damaging relations between black and white Americans who are all brothers. Oh my gosh, that's some BS, and you guys know that. The nation should applaud Mr. Zimmerman for taking a strong stand and pushing back against hack politicians like Buttigieg and Warren, who know no bounds of decency and frankly could obviously care less about whom they hurt in their quest to dishonestly use and manipulate black voters to win the 2020 Democrat presidential primary. The worst part about all of this is the fact that this wretched imbecile has people who coddle him. They are right by his side, co-signing his nefarious actions. How can you live with yourself? This is what I want to know. How can you live with yourself and wake up every day knowing that you are helping to defend a man that took the life of a young boy and then goes on to brag about it, but then want to paint him out to be some victim? I mean, are you kidding me? What are we really dealing with here? And my thing is, by association, the people who defend him are just like him. And seriously, I cannot wait for the day that the universe has some large amount of karma just waiting for him. And again, Trayvon was just a child, probably scared and confused, running for his life because some large Bigfoot man is chasing behind him. If you if anybody has the notion to try to come here and leave a comment that says otherwise, you are definitely going to be blocked. I mean, at this point, I don't have time for depravity and turpitude here. If you want to go back and forth, good. Go back and forth with the wall because I'm definitely not going to tolerate it. So, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just finish reading the rest of this. It says here, the nation should applaud horse dung. I'm lost. And I am too. I don't know what else to say. I've been lost since the tragic death of Trayvon and the callous insensitivity that has surrounded his death, as if parents didn't lose their baby, the Halloween costumes, the countless heartless posts on social media. Dung even went so far as to auction the gun he used to kill the teen. Dung isn't deserving of more words. It isn't bad enough that he stole that young man's life. He's now trying to steal his legacy in commemorative tweets that aren't even about him. But this is what horse dung does once you've stepped in it. Even once you've washed and cleaned your shoes, the smell stays with you. And you know what? I agree with all of that. You guys, I am seriously at a loss for words here. I don't understand why this man has been allowed to continue doing all of this and we just sit passively and do nothing about it. If it was Gayle, you guys would have had your pitchforks and torches ready to go. But for this man, he gets to eat at Red Lobster and do fine dining. I mean, I just don't get it. Somebody please make it make sense. I mean, I oftentimes think about what goes through Trayvon's parents' minds, and as the years go by, the holidays, the special moments happening all around them, and their precious child is not there with them to enjoy those moments. And the sad part is they say you never really deal with the passing of a loved one. You just learn to kind of take it a day at a time, and you take it slowly. And I wish I could say more on this, you guys, but again, it's so difficult because of the nature of the situation. Never before have I seen such disgusting arrogance and entitlement running amok while two parents don't even have their child to hug and love on. Just sick and saddening. So with that being said, let me know your thoughts on this. The energy we had for Gayle, why is it that we don't still have it for Zimmerman? Has that flame died out and we just got over it? So weigh in down below in the comment section. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share the video. And thank you guys so much for your continued support. And I will talk to you in my next video.